everyone. Welcome to No Movies in Hell. I'm Chris Geiger.
I'm LaCroix Scott, and today we are reviewing John Wick 4.
Which was advertised as the last John Wick.
That is right. We'll see. So, I mean, have you seen kind of the progression of these John Wick films? Like, first one, sorry, okay. So it's like John Wick in Paris now. He goes like from, I want to say, like, he was in sub-Saharan country, and then he goes to Paris to battle it out with a very dapper Bill Skarsgård.
Right. He does make a pit stop in New York.
Yes, he does.
So
He has to go to the Continental.
Right. He has to go to the Continental. He has to meet the king.
Yes.
While he's in New York. But
Oh,
I felt
yeah, he
like
makes a
this.
pit stop in Tokyo as well.
That's true. That's true.
Where he picks up Donnie Yang, and then they go to Paris.
I thought this movie was much better than 3.
I agree. I really like I just thought that the storytelling was great, but then like the overall style, like it was just really cool. And it was very cool to see Donnie Yang and in action, because I feel like I've seen him in a lot of older Hong Kong films that we see at Movies on Fire, or Sundays on Fire. And now it's like, oh yeah, he was in Rogue One where he played like a blind person in like the Star Wars realm. And then I think that he kind of brought that character back, but as a, an assassin, much like John Wick, which it's like, is the enemy of your enemy your friend? That type of situation.
Right. I don't know. I'm okay if this is the last John Wick. I think that it ended well. And I don't know how they would do a 5 plausibly. Not that plausibility is a strong condition for this series, of course, right? Like, I think 3 really went off the rails.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
1 was really good. 2 was a decent follow-up to 1, but you could see that the studio that made 1 kind of got a little bit more money for 2, and then they were just like, hey, what if we did this? Hey, what if we did this? And it was less coherent of a story. And then 3 just went completely off, like, we have so much money to do everything we've ever wanted to do as children. And so now we're going to throw it into this one movie. And 4 actually brings the story back to the forefront. And I think 1 and 4 are my favorites.
I really enjoyed this one. I like 4. I mean, I like 3 for kind of like that up the ante camp. Because who kills somebody with a horse, right? But I thought this one was special because there's no way that he could survive, or if he does, survive these things that have happened to him. Yeah, I just thought it was a good, like, perfect, not perfect, but like a little bow on top. So maybe someone else becomes that anti-hero. Someone else gets to sick dogs on people and such.
Right. Well, there is another in the John Wick sort of universe. Ballerina is scheduled to come out next year, I think I saw. And so hopefully we'll get to see more of Ian McShane at the Continental. Like, I definitely want to see that storyline progress.
Yeah, I think I did see something about oh my gosh, the woman who
Ana de Armas.
yeah, Anna de Armas playing. And I thought she did a very good job in the Bond film. I wish there was more, that she had more scenes and more like rich context to her character, but I mean, it's a Bond film. So maybe John Wick's Ballerina is a different area, something that she can like dig into, because I feel like she'd be a great action star.
Yeah, definitely. Well, let's go to the slides. 28. So we did rank this pretty high.
Yeah.
I liked in the very long fight scene where it's the night before he has to get to Momart or Sacre Coeur by sunrise, and he's being chased by all of these bounty hunters, basically. And they're in that abandoned building. And they're shooting from on top as if it's like a video game almost.
Yes.
I thought that was great.
Those are actually some of my favorite scenes because it took you from like the first person all the way to like this aerial view. And yes, it looked exactly like a video game. And with the type of, I guess, ammunition they had, it was kind of like this like mini fireworks that went off, and you can see that in real time. That was very
Yeah.
good effect.
Yeah, definitely. I also, of course, we both have talked about how much we love Paris. The fact that the final scene is at the very front of Sacre Coeur. You get that long scene as he's ascending the steps and then falling down the steps and then ascending the steps and then falling down the steps of that very famous staircase in Montmartre. That was great. It had all the things for me.
Yes, I agree. And like for me, the production quality, when I think he was in Berlin, and he was at the club, and how they were fighting in the club, and no one stopped to make sure people were okay. Like they just kept dancing.
Yeah.
It
That
was
seems
very odd, but very funny.
Yes, that seemed very video game-ish imagery too, because all the arms were sort of moving. Like
Yes.
no club ever looks like that. All the arms are moving kind of, everyone has their hands up and
It's like the Matrix.
yeah, yeah. So that was cool too. I forgot about the time that he goes to Berlin. I would actually maybe see a movie about his Berlin family.
Yeah, yes, yes. Because and maybe it's one of those things that were added belatedly because they make it seem as though he doesn't have family because of his profession. And then it slowly, creeps in of his like colleagues and obviously the manager and like his relationship. And then it's like, you get to this point where it's like, you have to make good with your family. And it's like, oh, well, where have they been? Like no one has mentioned them until now. And these are like these things that you have to do in a very short period of time to prove yourself.
Right. I think I saw an article where someone wrote, for a lone assassin, John Wick has a lot of friends.
Yes. So true.
Yeah. Do you have anything to plug in this episode?
Well, there are a lot of films coming up that are on the agenda, even like just things that are, streaming and not necessarily in theater, but definitely looking forward to catching up on a lot of things. Some standouts for me are definitely Super Mario Brothers because, I like gaming and 80s, 90s is nostalgia, as well as Renfield. That looks pretty interesting coming up. And Sundays on Fire actually is coming back next month, so in May, back at Nighthawk. So I mean, there are other films. I'm just glossing over some of the things that I'm looking forward to. But how about you?
Wait, is Sundays on Fire produced by Subway Cinema?
Yes.
Yes. So Subway Cinema is also doing a streaming series with Metrograph, I think.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, I'll try to find the link and post it in our description. But I saw that the other day and I thought, wait, that sounds very familiar.
Yeah, they put out the newsletter, and then yeah, Sundays on Fire, the surprise Hong Kong series. But yeah, that's awesome that they're doing something with Metrograph. I love Metrograph.
Coming up, Film at Lincoln Center is showing Passion, which is the second movie, I believe, from the guy who did Drive My Car. And it's the first US release of this movie. So we're going to see that next weekend. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm trying to incorporate, AMC 25 always has foreign language films in some of their smaller theaters. I'm trying to really incorporate at least one foreign language movie in my viewing schedule once a week. So that's been going great. Where the Wind Blows was good. Ride On is coming up. I don't know if you saw a trailer for that. It's the new Jackie Chan.
Oh, no, actually I haven't. I
Yeah,
definitely need to check that out.
it looks very entertaining. I don't know if it'll be, amazing storyline, but it's Jackie Chan. It'll be fun.
Yeah, he always
So,
brings the fun.
yeah. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you next time. Thanks so much for watching.
See you next time.